Hey guys, today on JD Cars, we're installing a second set of cutouts on this 5.7 liter Hemi V8 Jeep. So in case you aren't familiar, this is my buddy Christian's Grand Cherokee. It's the Overland edition with the 5.7 liter Hemi V8, which is a crazy engine for this car. And we've already installed one set of cutouts using the weld-in method. If you want to see that video, you can check it out up here. But the current set of cutouts only bypasses the two final mufflers, which leaves the large suitcase muffler in the center of the car still active and restrictive. And because of how restrictive it is, the car really isn't that loud yet. So today we're installing a second set of cutouts right after the cats. So it's really just going to be the engine, the catalytic converters, and then it's going to cut out right there. I'm really excited. This should sound pretty wild. We'll also be using a clamp-in method, so this will not require a welder, and additionally, it does not require removing the exhaust from the car. So let's get this thing up in the air and we'll get started. So this installation method involves using this Y-splitter pipe and exhaust clamps. This way we can just clamp it right into the existing exhaust without having to remove it from the car. So here's the suitcase muffler. You can see that we're going to be bypassing. Probably going to install the Y-splitter right in this section of pipe because it's a nice straight section, and there's a bit of extra room back there for the Y-splitter and the electric valve. So I'm going to find a nice fitment for this and mark it with a Sharpie so we know where to make our cut. So you can see we've got the section we need to remove. Now it's time for one of my favorite tools, the electric reciprocating saw. And there's our first cutout. It's a nice snug fit, as you can see. So now we're going to grab our clamps and some sealant and we'll get it clamped in there. So to seal our joints, I'm going to be using Permatex muffler and tailpipe sealer. So for the application of this, you're going to need a small brush of your choice, some gloves for your hands, and some water to activate the sealant. So we'll take our exhaust clamp, slide it on over, factory exhaust. So it instructs you to wet the surface with water before applying the sealant. So we'll do that with a spray bottle right here. And apply it to our brush like so, and we'll apply it to the pipe. Now grab your cutout and get it into place here. Wet down either end of the cutout here, apply your sealant, and you can slide the clamp right on over the cutout. Once you've gotten these into place, you can apply some additional sealant around all the seams. Now before we really clamp this down, we want to take one of our electric valves and check the fitment to make sure it'll fit in place after we've clamped it down. Once you've verified that it will fit, you can take a 14mm wrench and tighten down our exhaust clamps. Wow, I'm genuinely surprised by how solid this is after clamping it down. This is remarkably secure. I'm moving the entire exhaust, just pulling on the cutout, which is very impressive. So I'm confident in how strong this will be. So now we'll install the electric valve itself and the exhaust deflector using the included gaskets and hardware. I just had to go do a little modification. I just cut out the straight section of this 45-degree angle deflector. I was running into some problems with the support, but it now fits into place and we're all set. It's kind of funny that they include serrated lock nuts when the bolts aren't even long enough to put them on, but I'm honestly not concerned because it's tightened down here very well. Last thing left to do is to position our deflector in the desired angle and then tighten down the clamp. So the second cutout was supposed to go in this pipe right here on the left side of the car. Now the Grand Cherokee has this chassis support that goes right here, and immediately that presented a problem. Now I considered working around this, so I marked the pipe where this would be an issue, and I considered placing the cutout before or after that support. Now clearly, because of this bend here, the cutout really could not live there. Further up here there are two opposing angles because of the catalytic converter and how the exhaust is routed here. I don't think it's really worth taking a chance of compromising the exhaust and causing a leak when we already have a cutout on the other side. So I'm going to reinstall the support and we'll finish up installing the electrical for the cutout on that side. Now the electrical for this is actually going to work out pretty beautifully. We've got a power supply right here. Just going to ground it up here because I know it's a reliable ground. Cable's fed down by the engine along that wall there, then comes out the bottom here around the frame there. I made a couple small holes in this plastic guard for some zip ties, and we'll be able to zip tie this on the upper edge all the way back to our cutout here, and we'll be able to secure our control box using some zip ties. So we've got our control box, and I just chopped off the cigarette lighter connector. We're going to be using some butt connectors to wire it in to our leads, which we just fed down to the location of the cutout. Also, while it might be a crude method, the easiest way to waterproof your control box is wrapping a couple rubber gloves around it and then sealing the end with some zip ties. So we've got all of our connections for the control box taped up here. It is a good idea to add an inline fuse to the power supply to the control box, because when you snip off the cigarette lighter connector, you do lose that fuse. But other than that, we just have to zip tie these up and tuck the control box away on the top of this plastic panel. Here's probably one of the most exciting moments right here. Sweet. Perfect. Alrighty, so all the wiring is buttoned up under here, cutouts installed. So now it's time to take this thing off the ramps and finally hear what this engine sounds like. Okay, so this thing's definitely a lot louder now. It was cool to hear it rev up, but let's go hear what it sounds like on the street doing some pulls and some downshifts. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a lot of fun working on this Jeep. So let me know what other videos you'd like to see, because there will definitely be more content coming soon. Be sure to check out jd-cars.com for all your JD Cars merch. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time on JD Cars.